Welcome to the Ashenborn Archive. This record is preserved. Begin. Audio Codex Entry 14, Bellwater Lake, the Drowned Cathedral. Within the heart of the Weeping Greenwood lies Bellwater Lake. Its waters are calm, its shores are quiet, and beneath its surface rests an entire city. Bellwater was not always a lake. Long ago, it was a thriving cathedral city built among the forests of the Greenwood. Pilgrims traveled from across Ashen Reach to seek blessings from its clergy and hear the voices of its famous bells. The bells were the soul of Bellwater. They marked every important moment in the city's life. Births, funerals, festivals and prayers were all announced by their ringing. No matter where one stood within the city, the bells could be heard. At the center of Bellwater stood the great cathedral, a vast structure of soaring spires, stained glass, towering bell chambers, and endless archives. Entire districts were built around it. Markets flourished in its shadow. Pilgrims crowded its avenues. The city seemed eternal. Then came the flood. To this day, nobody agrees on what caused it. Some call it divine judgment. Others believe something ancient stirred beneath the Greenwood. Whatever the truth, the disaster unfolded in a single night. The rain poured in a torrential downfall. Lightning split the sky above the great cathedral. The waters rose without warning. Streets vanished beneath dark currents. Homes disappeared. Entire districts were swallowed before their inhabitants could escape. By dawn, Bellwater was gone. In its place stood a vast lake. Of those that survived, most fled. The clergy did not. The high priests declared that Bellwater remained sacred, regardless of what had become of it. If the cathedral now belonged beneath the waters, then they too would descend beneath the lake. Many willingly entered the lake. The descent changed them. Generations passed. The descendants of those priests became the Eel Priests of Bellwater. Long, serpentine beings resembling sacred lampreys, draped in ceremonial vestments that drift endlessly through the currents. They inhabit the drowned cathedral and preserve what remains of Bellwater's ancient faith. The Eel Priests remember old prayers. They recite forgotten liturgies. They conduct ceremonies beneath saint statues and among silent bell chambers. Though much knowledge has been lost, they remain the spiritual custodians of the drowned city. Yet the priests are not alone. Another people dwell within Bellwater's depths. Smaller, far more numerous, and perhaps even more essential. They are known as the Tidelings. Before the flood, they served the cathedral as lantern keepers, bell polishers, grave attendants, archive workers, and custodians. They were the hands that kept Bellwater functioning. When the city fell, they descended alongside the clergy. Generations beneath the water transformed them. Today, the Tidelings inhabit every chamber of the drowned cathedral. They preserve the archives, recover lost relics, restore damaged saint statues, tend sacred underwater gardens, return scattered bones to forgotten tombs, and maintain the countless bells that still hang throughout Bellwater. Some bells are small enough to carry. Others are large enough to fill entire chambers. Most have not rung for centuries. The Tidelings polish them anyway, every day, every year, every generation. What began as maintenance became ritual. What became ritual became faith. Many believe the Tidelings now preserve Bellwater more faithfully than anyone else. The priests preserve memory. The Tidelings preserve devotion. Together, they sustain a civilization that should not exist. To descend into Bellwater today is to enter a world suspended between ruin and worship. The cathedral still stands. The lanterns still burn. The archives continue to grow. The dead remain tended. And the faith endures. Not because anyone remembers exactly why,
but because nobody ever stopped. Throughout the drowned city, one can find signs of this devotion. Rows of empty thrones, maintained for masters who will never return. Saint statues, polished by generations of careful hands. Bone archives, recording centuries of forgotten history. Processions carrying the dead through flooded crypts. And everywhere, bells. Silent bells, waiting. Deep within the lowest chambers of the cathedral hangs the greatest of them all, a colossal bell known as the Silent Bell. It is not rung since the night Bellwater drowned. No living creature remembers hearing its voice. Yet the tidelings continue to polish it. The Eel Priests continue to pray beneath it. Both believe the same thing. One day, the bell will ring again. And when it does, perhaps Bellwater will awaken. But that is a mystery for another entry. For now, the drowned cathedral remains beneath the waters of the Weeping Greenwood. Its priests still remember, its custodians still labor. And beneath the silent surface of Bellwater Lake, an ancient faith continues, long after the world above has forgotten it.
The world of Ashenreach also exists as a physical trading card game through collectible Ashenborn Archive relic cards and booster packs. The archivist has authorized a restricted offering for listeners of the Codex. For a limited time, listeners may receive an additional sealed booster pack through the sigil phrase, Codex. To claim the offering, add 2 single booster packs to your cart at ashenbornarchive.com. Then enter the phrase, Codex, at checkout. Ordering instructions and all archive links may be found within the show notes. The excavation continues. The archive's presence endures across the outer channels. Seek the social archives listed in the show notes for visual lore fragments, trading card offerings, and continued dispatches from Ashenreach. Follow if you would continue to travel the realm of the Ashenborn Knight, or remain on the outskirts of Ashenreach and be forgotten by the archive.